Steph from wildfoxstitchery here on YouTube and on Instagram. If you are new here, this is a channel mainly about cross-stitching. I'm glad you are here to hang out with me this morning. I just want to say thank you for your likes and comments. I really appreciate them. And just as a reminder, I do have an Etsy shop where I sell stitching t-shirts, kind of like this one I'm wearing here. You can kind of see it. It says Weekends Coffee Cross Stitch. I have other ones like that, and shirts related to other things like running and medical coding and billing are my main topics. If you have any ideas of a cross-stitching shirt that you would like to see, just send me a message and I will work with you on that. I will leave my contact information below as well as a link to my shop. So let's get on to the stitching. Okay, so remember from my last video, I kind of went a little bit rogue and decided I was just gonna do things whichever way I feel like doing them at the time. That is, I am doing like a wheel for different categories and spinning that, so letting that tell me what I'm gonna work on. Otherwise, I have so many projects that I probably wouldn't be able to pick one. So I will show you the projects I've worked on in the last 2 weeks since I last filmed. The first one is one of my stranded day projects for the first week. This is When the Stars Reply by Long Dog Samplers. I will find it here. So this is what it looks like all together when it's done. This is what it looks like when you last saw it. And I don't think I got that much more since the last video, since I only had maybe another day to work on it after that. But this is where it's at now. I'm not sure how I feel about this lighter yellow here. I might change my mind on that color. We'll see the next time I pull out this project. So this is at, let me check here, 21.68% done. It's stitched on 18 count Aida. It's Picture This Plus, but I'm not sure what the name of it is. And then I'm using DMC threads. That was the first strand a day project. And usually I end up doing 2 strands a day at least on these things. Okay, then the next project I worked on was Forest of Sumatra by Ink Circles. This is what it looks like. And then this is where it was when I started. And this is where I have got to in 3 days. I worked on this for 3 days. I had to do a lot of reverse stitching, unpicking a lot of what I had stitched because I was using a lighter color and it just didn't look good. Here you could barely see it and I just knew I wouldn't be happy with it. So I picked that out and have to restitch that motif. That was this one here. But that's okay because I'd rather be happy with it than be regretting a color choice later on. This is a paper pattern, so I don't know the percentage done. And this is also on Picture This Plus 18 count Aida. I believe I have the tag in here. This is Shale is the color. And the DMC threads I'm using are $37.99. 38.15 and 38.16. The one I had put in there was 38.17. That was just too light, so that's the one I'm not going to be using anymore. And this is one strand over one square on this 18 count, and I really like how that looks, especially on this dyed, this picture, this plus 8. It works really well because it's a little tighter. That previous project I was using 2 strands over one on this 18 count. Where did I put it? So you can see it's thicker, which is fine. I just really like the look of the one strand on this fabric, at least for 18 count. Okay, what's next? Okay, the next is another strand a day project that I worked on. It's called Quoth the Stitcher by My Big Toe Designs, and this is where it was when I started, and this is where I've gotten to now after 1 week of one strand a day. So this fabric is colored cotton, sampler gold. It's a 32 count Belfast linen, and I'm doing DMC. Let me look here. To find it in my long list of WIPs here. Quoth the Stitcher. DMC 3021 is what this color is. You can see I've got all the words on there. I had to do a lot of reverse stitching on this one too, because I started with this here. I did the TH, and then I thought I put Quoth here, and so I missed the on there. So I had to unpick the whole word of Quoth and add the and move it over, restitch Quoth, and then now you can see I'm going down into the bird here, the raven. This is also a paper pattern, so I don't know any percentages on that one. What's next on the list? Okay, so the next 2 things I'm going to show you are for our new starts. They are for the Strawberry Moon Stitch Along that Marjorie Made Stitches is hosting. So the first one is a soda stitch pattern. It's called Ice Cream Ladies, and I think there's, I'll put a picture here, but I think there's 5 ladies all together. I am gonna stitch all of them eventually, but right now I have only stitched the strawberry one so far, and I did finish her up. So I'll show you here what it looks like. This is a really big piece of fabric. So she looks really cute. I really love how she turned out with the back stitching on there and everything. In fact, I'm gonna post a picture of the before and after back stitching here because I think it's just so fun to see the difference when you add that back stitching in. This is another picture, this plus 18 count Ada. I don't know if I have the name. Let me look here. I don't have the name. Most of these I purchased years ago. In fact, I had started a different project on this piece, and there was a few stitches I had to unstitch here, pick them out, and start this project on it. The reason I decided to go with a soda stitch pattern, which isn't something I would probably normally do, even though I think they're super cute. I've been watching Rogue Mama Stitcher and all of her soda stitch finishes, and they're just so cute. I thought I would try one and see how it turned out, and I really like it. Okay, so that was the first Strawberry Moon SAL project, and then I did start another one. It's a small one. I'm not done with it yet, but I've only worked on it a couple days. So it's Hare and Strawberries by Wanderling Stitches. This is what it looks like. And I just found a scrap of fabric that I had, and I think it's a 25 count. So it's a lot bigger than I would normally do because I'm doing 2 over 2, but it works. I don't want to do it so small that it's only 1 over 1. So this is how far I've gotten on it. I have to fill in these stitches here that I did half of so far. I've already had to do some unpicking on this one as well. Apparently I miscount often. So the stitches in here are just so big, which I think it's looking good. I like that strawberry, it's super cute. Just not used to having such big stitches. I did change all the colors on this one from what it called for, because I just thought that these looked better. So all of these colors are different than what the pattern calls for. So I'll probably finish this up hopefully by the end of the month, since it's for June. It shouldn't take too long if I keep working on it. Okay, what do we have next? So those were the 2 for the stitch along this month. And you'll see that I have quite a few new starts. More than I've ever had this year so far, because I was only working on old projects before this. Okay, so the next one was a Long Dog Samplers. This was spun on the wheel to work on for a WIP. Variant of Interest is what it is. Let me see here. This is what it's gonna look like when it's done. And this is where it was when I started. Now it's not gonna look too much different, because what I did originally is I went with just half the cross stitch and was going super fast to fill it all in. It didn't take me long to get as far as I am here, but I realized that if I don't go back and fill them in now, I am not going to want to do it at the end. So I'm making myself fill them in before I continue on with this one, and I'll show you where I'm at after working on it a few days. So you can see I've been working on crossing the stitches. I don't know if I'll keep this. I was trying this green color in here, and I don't know if I'll continue and fill in around there and fill in some areas. This, on the pattern, this doesn't have stitches there. I was just adding some color. I might take it out, we'll see. But yeah, this is on 18 count Aida with DMC threads. Let me see what colors I'm using here. I have a 3835 and a 3746. So it's going to take me a while to fill in all these stitches. I wish I had just done it in the first place, but you live and learn, right? I don't know. I have a paper pattern for this one, and it's not in my markup RXP yet, so, and then I'd have to mark up all of this. I don't know if I will. I'll probably just keep using the paper pattern for that one, so I don't know percentages. What's the next project? Okay, another Stranda Day project that I've been working on this past week is another Long Dog Samplers that you've seen many times. It is, yeah, I'll take it out of the hoop here so you can see it better. It is Fishy Goings On, and I am at 27.85% done on this one. This is what it looks like last time you would have seen it. And here is what it looks like now. So this circle is filled in. I'll work on this circle next, and this big shark here I'd like to work on as well. I just have a couple more days of working on this until we switch next week to another project. Unless I decide to keep working on it, we'll see. So that one is going very well. This is on 32 count Lugana, and it's 2/2, and I'm using DMC threads. I am using 3750, 826, and 932, and I believe the gold is 680. And I'm trying to do, you can see here, I'm trying to do the back stitching as I go, so that there's not so much at the end. So that's that one. Okay. So I have my projects divided into 3 categories. I have my WIPs, which is just everything I'm already working on. Kits, which of course is self-explanatory. It's all my kits that come pre-kitted up from different companies. And then I have my full coverage. So I have 3 different wheels, and what I'm gonna be doing is just like working 3 days on one category and going to the next category, spinning the wheel and working on that and rotating that way. Just so I don't get bored of working on the same type of thing all the time. And I've had a lot of these kits for years, and I figure why keep holding on to them and never work on them. So I'm going to be starting a few of them this year. And the one that came up on the wheel was a new one that I hadn't started yet. This was just 6/6, so that was yesterday I started it. It's called Red Mermaid. It's an RTO kit. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this. I've had it for years. I really love it. I was thinking of getting different fabric because it comes with 14 count navy Ada. And I thought I would get some even weave or something to work on it, because I know there's a lot of, there's 3/4 stitch, there's quarter stitch, you know, lots of fractional stitches in this one, and blended threads. But I was saving money, so I decided to just use the fabric it came with. And I have gotten this far in one day. Hard to see on this dark fabric. So this is her hands. I don't know if you can see both here, but so her hands are in the middle. I'm starting in the middle there. I just hope this, I know the fabric came with it. I just hope there's enough room, because it sure doesn't seem like there's going to be to me. I'm used to having 3 inches of a border. And I know in kits they don't usually give you that much extra room on the edges, so I'm sure it will be fine since I started in the middle. So that was the kit I just started yesterday, and I'll work on today and tomorrow, and then I will work on a full coverage. I'll spin the wheel and do a full coverage on starting on Monday. I did in the last 2 weeks work on 2 full coverages, and they actually both happen to be new starts. So you'll probably see a few new starts there as well in the next few months, whenever they get spun on the wheel, I guess. Okay, so the first one, a new start, it's called Van Gogh Never Passed, and it is charted by Unconventional JedXstitch. It is a Lord of the Rings inspired art piece. As you can see, Gandalf and the Balrog. In the style of Van Gogh, of course. So I thought it was really cool, and it's fairly small. It's only 200 by 200. So I worked on that for 3 days or so. And this is how far I got. There is a lot of color changes in this one. So I am at percentage-wise 1.56%. Here's how big the fabric is. So that's one of the full coverages for this past 2 weeks. The other one is also a new start. It is Rainbow Cheetah. Really bright and colorful. Love the colors. This is on Etsy by Fruhling Designs. You can see here, maybe. Anyways, I really like the charting on this one because it's not a bunch of confetti, as you'll see when I pull out what the progress I've made on this one. Well, I guess once you get around here, there's a bit more, but the sky, the background is nice because it's just blocks of color basically. So I was really enjoying that one. And unfortunately, it's not, I used some fabric I already had on hand, so it's not gridded like I normally would do. It's some more of that 25 count. The same stuff I used for that Hare and strawberries. So this is the piece. It is 200 by 200, just like that Lord of the Rings one. But this is how far I've gotten in probably 3 days. So you can see I'm starting in on the ear of the cheetah there. This one's at 5.58%, so you can see it's going a lot faster with those blocks of color. So that one's been a lot of fun. So that's it for what I worked on in the last 2 weeks. And as you can see, my plan to touch a lot more projects is working out well, because that's a lot more than I normally would have in 2 weeks prior to this. I might not make as much progress on some of them, but you know what? I'm okay with that because I'm just doing this for fun and I am having fun. So that's what matters. As far as, let's see, plans, gonna do the wheels. I'll show you here what my wheels look like. So this is the one with the whips, and I'll add, once I have new starts and they're actually turned into whips, I'll put them on here as well. But so this is the whips. This one is for my kits that I'm gonna work on, and this is my full coverage wheel. And oh, and then of course I have a wheel for a stranded day project, which is basically just some various whips that would be maybe easy to get a lot of progress in with a couple strands. I'm still doing WIP Go. So this is my WIP go board for June. I haven't worked on the 2 projects yet because they're actually 2 of the new starts I had on the board for the year. So I'm excited. I'm going to start them soon, probably in the next couple weeks. So you'll probably see them in the next video. I'll show you what they are though, if I remember where I put them. Oh, here they are. Okay. Guess I already had it unzipped. Okay. The first one, Persephone's Garden by JedXstitch. Super excited to start this one. So I got this pattern a few months ago when I first saw Samantha at Kansas City Stitcher working on it. So I was like, I really want to do that one, and I finally get to start it this month. So I'm very excited. This is the fabric I have for it. I hope it works. It's Silver Fox by Fiber on a Whim, and it's 32 count Lugana. I hope that works out with the colors. I haven't really checked yet. I haven't gotten that far. Then the other one is a Barbara Anna Designs. Oh, I keep zipping it when I already unzipped it. She Mad Hatter Dreams. So yeah, I've been looking forward to starting that one. I think Jennifer from Little Paper Bear Co. just finished hers. So if you want to see what it looks like finished, you can go check out her video where she shows that. And it was very, very nice looking. I might kind of do something similar to what she did. I think she changed the color of the words here. So I'll probably do something like that. Otherwise, we'll see how that goes. Oh, the fabric I have is this gray printed fabric. It is Vintage Stormy Night, 32 count Lugana. So you can kind of see here the modeling on just the one side. Super excited for both of those. That'll be fun to start those. And then I've been organizing my floss. So I have these 4 boxes here so far. And I have to finish winding this pile of floss here. I don't know if you can, I think you can see it. But that's after I wind all those on bobbins and organize them all into probably another box or 2. I will have, I believe it should be 1 of each on bobbins organized by number here. I have a lot more duplicates and stuff, but I was surprised that I still didn't have any of these colors. I had to buy all those to make the complete collection, because I'll put a picture here, but this is the rest of my floss and how I have it organized in the closet over there. What else? Oh, I am going to mention something I'm going to start at some point this year. I don't know when exactly I'm going to get to it, but I really want to try these. Might be challenging, but that is okay. I want to give it a shot. I want to try a Mirabilia, so I have this pattern I'm going to work on eventually this year. This is Bianca Bella. And I did order fabric for it, so I can start it anytime. I'll have to get the beans. The other thing that is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I do want to try it, is this Teresa Wentzler, the Castle. I'm excited to give that one a shot as well. I have fabric coming for this one. So I am looking forward to trying something new this year as far as that goes. And then more plans I'm gonna do in July. I think I'm just gonna do some Christmas in July stitching, which I think will be fun to focus on for the month as something different. I have probably most of them will be new starts because I really don't have that many Christmas projects on the go already. Maybe one or two. So I have a couple I'm gonna start for Christmas in July. And then I'll probably at some point in July do a mid-year WIP parade as well to show all of my projects. Yeah, so that's my plans for the next month or so. And then let's see, as far as life updates, I had my marathon last week, a week ago, and it went good. It was hot. The air quality was really bad with the smoke in the air. That's the thing I had the issue with the most, and then the few days after that, because it caused a lot of issues in my sinuses and my throat. So it took a while to recover from that part of it. But at the time it went okay. I finished it. It was my first marathon, so it was quite the accomplishment for me. I was really proud to have checked that off my bucket list finally. I'm going to show you the medal here. Here it is. Fargo Marathon. Very exciting. I'm still recovering. I tried to go for a run today, but must have injured my leg because I couldn't go that many miles. But I'll rest up a little bit because in July I am starting training for a half marathon at the end of August. Now, a half marathon is going to be half the miles, so it will be not so bad for training wise. So I'm excited about that. And then let's see, anything else going on is today's my dad's birthday. So we'll be celebrating with him later tonight with some cake and going out for dinner. So we're looking forward to that. And then this month is also all three of my kids' birthdays as well. So it's our birthday month. And the twins are going to be 12 and my oldest is going to be 13. So we will celebrate them next weekend all together. We usually do that since they're only a year apart and they're all in June here. So we are busy this month with birthdays and baseball. Birthdays and baseball. That's about all we have going on in June. But yeah, that is everything I have for you today, I believe. So I will talk to you next time. Bye.